All right. Good morning.
All
Good morning,
right.
Eli.
Right back at you. Good morning. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday indeed. It's been a week after a week, couple weeks. It's been
Yeah,
2 weeks.
it's
2 weeks
been,
since we launched the AXL token, almost. Yeah,
crazy.
crazy. Yeah, thanks everybody for joining the community call for September, October. As many of you know, we do this every month, beginning of the month. We also send out a monthly recap newsletter, and we communicate with you weekly via newsletter. So if you want to get this stuff in your email inbox, go to axelar.network. You can find the email sign up there at the bottom of the page. My name's Galen, content lead, here with Eli, marketing lead from Axelar. Hello. If you have any questions, you can put those in the chat here. We'll see them. We'll try to answer them. No guarantees. And no questions about the BNB chain bridge hack, please. That was quite an event last night. I don't know about you, Eli, but I was up late, kind of reading, trying to figure out what happened. Sounded like somebody found a protocol level bug and exploited it.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Good to see that it's been brought back online.
Yeah.
Pretty quick remediation there.
Yeah, I mean, I think the answer, the good thing in all of it was how quickly they were able to react and
sure.
stop the chain and prevent funds from being lost. Seems like the damage might be actually quite minimal. Definitely concerning, but these things happen, and the ability to respond like that is key.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. Well, cool. We got listeners, viewers coming in from Vietnam. Hello. Hello, everybody who's chiming in. Again, you can always post in the comments with any comments or questions. As I mentioned, we did the AXL token. That happened. It's live. It's out there. It's listed on a number of exchanges. So it's available. And most importantly, that's the most important thing. People have it in their hands. People who participated in the CoinList sale back in March now have the token in their hands. They're beginning to stake. You can follow that activity on axelarscan.io. That's our block explorer. Yeah, it's exciting. It's an exciting milestone. I think, just really like a step forward toward decentralizing the network, and the decentralization of Axelar really is the cornerstone of the security model for securing messages cross chain.
Yeah, it was a really fun, it was intense, but it was a fun, well, I guess years leading up to, weeks leading up to a couple of days, but
exactly. 2 years and
I
20
think,
minutes.
I think the response was, phenomenal, right? Like we had so many partners, supporting. We had so many people from our community supporting. We had a lot of fun with it. So I think it was great.
If you haven't had a chance, go to our Twitter account at twitter.com/axelarcore and check out the video that I think it's still in the pinned message. Yeah, the video's fire.
When ETH Clippy, right? I mean,
Yes,
that's the big question.
ETH Clippy. I hope will make another appearance. I'm definitely bullish on ETH Clippy, especially as DevCon kicks off. We do have some folks in Bogota, right? If you're there, who from the team is in Bogota?
I believe James and Kate are both planning on going.
James and Kate will be there.
One or two more.
So if you see some folks wearing Axelar swag, say hi. If they offer you an airdrop, say bye. Yeah, that's something to mention. We have seen some fake Telegram groups popping up offering AXL airdrops. There is no AXL airdrop. Do not believe it. Always check the official source, which you can find at axelar.network. Yeah. Well, that's it. That's what I think that's what we got for a kickoff here. We'll get into some other stuff later on in terms of partnerships and deals. We're going to have Jake from the BD team joining us a little bit later, but right now I think we have a special guest to introduce. Eli, do you want to?
I'll add him on and hop off myself. So here we go. Emery, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks, Emery. So, Emery, thanks for joining us. Let's start with the basics. Tell everybody what Kado does.
Sure, yeah. Kado Money is a Web3 fiat on-ramp, off-ramp Web3 payments solution provider. So we basically, bridge Web 2 and Web 3 and partner with Axelar for Cosmos connectivity.
That's great. Okay. And tell me, what's your role at Kato?
So I'm actually the founder and CEO. We
Great.
started this company back in May of last year.
Okay.
Actually born out of a Terra hackathon back in May of 2021.
Great. Okay. So I guess you were building on Terra originally. Are you still there, or where are you now?
Yeah, so we actually originally launched on Terra. We basically believe, our two core pillars, access to and utility for crypto. Really excited about real world connected applications and again, using crypto in the real world. If you invest in digital assets, why do you spend fiat currency? Why is your digital wallet not, as similar as your tangible real world wallet? And so, ultimately, we actually just relaunched last Monday on September 26th, and it's been about 2 weeks now. So all systems go. You can actually on ramp to Osmosis, Juno, Kujira, and Terra 2 using Axelar USDC in under 3 minutes.
And so mainnet live, right?
Mainnet live,
up,
production ready.
And 2 weeks since the migration, you migrated to. So where is it running now?
So now we're actually live on Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, as well as Axelar connected networks. So Osmosis, Juno, Kujira, and Terra 2. And, a big shout out actually to our team. I wanted to mention and give them a big plug because, the Terra crash happened on about May 9th. Yeah. And we started working with the Axelar team on, I looked back and it was May 17th, so not even 10 days later, we picked the pieces up and, we started building back. And just big shout out to Yorios and the rest of the Axelar team, for reaching out after the collapse and, making it easy for us to kind of get up and running again.
That's awesome. I think, it's great to see, 2 weeks is like a milestone, right? I don't know if that's just like a weird mental thing, but I feel like I remember like when the ETH merge happened, I remember thinking, okay, 2 weeks, after 2 weeks, if everything's still ticking, I feel pretty good. Right.
Right.
There's something psychological about that, about reaching that kind of fortnight point. So congratulations. And but I want to get into a little more about the architecture and how you're setting up the cross chain, because I think it's a really interesting challenge and question that a lot of people are now beginning to focus on. But first, let's just talk on the high level kind of. Okay, so fiat on ramp. So I think if you think of what most people end up with the fiat on ramp is through a centralized exchange, right? They're coming into a place like Coinbase or something like that, and then they're going from there to maybe going from there to a wallet, to a decentralized exchange. You're kind of leaping over that with a decentralized offering that enables people to bring cash straight onto a Web3 decentralized web type of offering.
Yep, exactly. So
how the hell do you do that?
Yeah. So again, skip the SEX, skip the centralized exchange. We're big proponents of getting direct access, from your bank account to your Kepler wallet and beyond. It today takes still, if you use traditional centralized exchanges like Coinbase, you have to wait 5 days to be able to disperse your assets. You have to pay, upwards of 5% in fees and slippage. A lot of these other, on ramps as well as centralized exchanges, they'll have a big spread, on a $100, $200, $500 purchase, when the slippage is not that crazy. I've seen other on ramps and exchanges selling USDC at $1.10, $1.10. If you ever walked into a grocery store, I've seen a number of here in South Carolina where they sell Bitcoin, USDC, Ethereum, ATM. The price gouging is just insane.
The Bitcoin ATM spreads are bananas. That blows my mind every time.
I don't know who's using them.
I think it speaks to a demand to kind of skip the bank account, right? You want to do it from paper cash to Bitcoin, and people are obviously paying a premium to do that. I think the reasons for wanting to do that might be many, right? Maybe somebody doesn't actually have a bank account. Maybe they're very concerned about privacy. Maybe they're doing something illegal. Any of the above. And illegal can be one person's illegal is another person's resistance movement, right? So there's I think there's all kinds of interesting use cases for Bitcoin ATMs. I find the world of that fascinating.
And going back full circle here, right? If we think about your digital wallet as your bank account or your self-custodial asset address or whatever you want to call it, but effectively being able to be unbanked and use your wallet and be the only, controller or custodian of your assets is still such an innovation that, it's some of us take for granted, but
Right.
in a lot of the places in the world, that's just access. And,
Yeah.
you
So
know,
so let me check on this then. So with Kado, we're going bank account directly to a wallet, to a self-custody wallet.
Exactly. And actually vice versa as well. You
Yeah.
can off ramp today,
Uh-huh.
again, on any Axelar connected chain. We believe, it's a two-way street. If you're just offering an on-ramp product and solution,
Right.
you're only enabling people to get in, and sometimes you need to be able to get out. And
Yeah.
so obviously, important.
Yeah. So, okay. Do you do KYC?
Yep, we do KYC today. We actually
Uh-huh.
partner with a couple of different providers for KYC. We actually ourselves do not hold KYC data. We partner with banks and custodians, digital asset custodians like Prime Trust and Zero Hash.
Uh-huh.
And these guys actually partner downstream with further KYC providers.
Great.
We use other solutions for onboarding.
Cool. Okay. So let's talk about the kind of cross-chain or multi-chain setup that you have. Can you kind of describe the architecture? Or do you have like sort of a hub and spoke? Are you running logic on multiple chains? What is the what choices have you made there in terms of how you're enabling anybody to kind of? I mean, I think that the real promise here is it's not just a Bitcoin ATM, right? You can go any chain. You can come in with any wallet. You can access any currency. So that's exciting. How are you making that happen?
Yeah, absolutely. With Axelar, that's the key to the integration here. So obviously, the ability for the hub and spoke model, to connect to a single destination to everywhere, right? Being able to port across Cosmos, across Polkadot, across EVM. It's it's a beautiful solution for the on-ramp space in terms of especially liquidity. We benefit from being able to run through USDC and Axelar USDC on chain. But in turn, there's so much more opportunity after the stablecoin for consumers to go and do X, go and do Y. And so, it opens up our use cases with the stablecoin because it's held at $1. We can actually have some higher limits. It makes that a little bit easier. But actually, I'm sure I actually was listening to your recent call with Squid and Fig, and we're super excited about that partnership and to open up the rails that they provide to make it, fiat to anything.
And just to provide information on that, that's Squid. They are 0x Squid on Twitter, and they are providing liquidity routing on top of Axelar. Really exciting project, and actually partnering with a lot of application builders that we're working with right now. They're a really important part of the stack.
Totally. Same for us. Exactly. The liquidity router, opens up so many opportunities and so many new use cases. So we're really excited to, get that kicked off, and including that, really excited about general message passing and, evolution of the new applications and solutions that provides. We've got 5-10 projects that we're already talking to that are, waiting for that to be turned on. And then, in turn, fiat to, liquidity pool or dollar cost averaging or, purchasing an NFT.
Yeah.
These kind of new use cases that, we're all sort of waiting for GMP.
Yeah, I think GMP to Cosmos is going to be a major development. That's definitely on our near-term roadmap. Something we're very focused on. Obviously, we're able to do that now on EVM chains. The ability to kind of send any payload, including a function call, including data, whatever, arbitrary payloads cross chain securely. And I think exactly what you said, it opens up these kind of opportunities to do more sophisticated things for the user, where the user doesn't have to really think about what goes under the hood. That's a one-click type of an action for the user. We recently kind of teased, or actually, well, I wouldn't say teased. We talked about on stage at the Converge conference with Circle last week. Sergey was there, and one of the things we're going to be doing there is adding general message passing to the native USDC that they're enabling cross-chain. So exactly the types of things that you just mentioned, right? Dollar cost average, like as simple as dollar cost averaging, like that. You can now do that across a completely decentralized DeFi type of stack, and that's pretty cool.
The permissionless, USDC swaps and such. That's something that we've been really excited about as well, and again opens up so many new use cases that again, that haven't been possible today, and are just going to be even more efficient, because of it. So, I wanted to highlight one piece on like Circle and something I see in Axelar is, this idea of like inherent trust in the products, but also, trusted community, trusted, backdrop of the team members, and really this, inherent sense of security, right? And being able to, step in when and make the right calls, right? I believe the recent update to limit the, withdrawals to 5 or 6 million, at any given interval, speaks to, the foresight and thinking about trust and security that Axelar brings. And, I see that a lot in Circle.
I think that we were just talking about that with the hack that occurred with BNB Chain Bridge yesterday. Just the ability to limit damage. I mean, everybody, mistakes happen, hacks occur. I think people who are I think the ones to be most afraid of are the ones who are approaching the situation as though they have a perfect solution.
Right.
But no, I think, and I mean, you mentioned trust. I mean, it's true, right? There are trusted components always. I think decentralization is a process. I think some people would say, look, USDC is a centralized, the government can shut that down, right? Sort of thing. And it's certainly a valid criticism, but I think, especially after what happened to UST, people are looking for, okay, what is the right solution? What is the right, where are the risks, and how can I do this in a way that makes sense? For
Absolutely, and to that point, I was actually going to mention as well. I know I'm super curious your guys' input, but USD Axelar wrapped is about 10x the TVL of Tether wrapped. Axelar USDT. I was looking at TVL last night, and it's about 69 million USDC, and only about 6 million Tether. And I wonder how much of the Terra collapse and UST fallout impacted that.
I think that tells the story. Yeah, absolutely. I think there was a need, there was a sudden need, right? And Axelar was we were fortunately able to the timing was such that we were able to serve that need by helping USDC come into the Cosmos ecosystem. So I think we're looking at the constant evolution of that, and stables that are as USDC doing native cross chain. I think we're just really still at the early days of stable coins. I'm sure there will be other attempts at algo stables, right? We'll see new innovation there, and I'm very excited to kind of continue to see what's around the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. And then again, just to reiterate there, it's just amazing to see the movement towards USDC as that DEX pair. Obviously, if you've been around in crypto long enough, everything started as paired against Bitcoin, then it got paired against Tether. And now, I'm seeing DEXs pick up USDC, and it's really just amazing to see that again, trust, I think, is really one of those key components that's moving it in that direction. And excited to see where it goes from here.
Cool. Well, Emery, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate having you on. Kado's a great project. We're really excited to be working together. Where can people find out more information about what you're doing?
Kado.money, KADO.money is our website, and you can sign up today to, again, purchase Axelar USDC on 4 networks, and soon everywhere Axelar is.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for joining us, and looking forward to what comes next.
Thanks, Galen.
All right. I think we're going to bring Eli back up here, and Jake's here from the BD team. What's up, Jake?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. So,
pleasure.
Kado's awesome. I'm really excited about what they're doing. I think like just the idea of like, okay, the next wave, what's the next wave? Who knows? Maybe it's a year out, maybe it's 2 years out, maybe it's 2 weeks, 2 months out. We just don't know what's around the corner, but I'm excited about, kind of this building phase where we have a chance to build infrastructure that makes the next wave look a little different from the last one, right? I think in the last wave, we saw the centralized services like reaping most of the volume and the inflows. I don't know, maybe that'll look with the help of projects like Kado, with Axelar providing cross-chain infrastructure, maybe that will look a little different in the next wave.
Yeah. A lot of those centralized institutions have actually made people more nervous this downfall. Right? So
you saw what that train wreck can look like, right? And I'm not going to call it any names, but everybody knows what I'm talking about. There was, a number of those kind of operators that, we're offering a Web3 type of a thing, but in the end, we're, operating a centralized service, and that didn't go so well.
No.
Yeah.
It didn't. Transparency is big.
Yeah, you're right. Sunshine cures a lot of ills. So Jake, I'm glad you're here because I want to talk about deals and partnerships and announcements that we've made in the past month. I mean, a couple of big ones, right? We announced that we're working with Mysten Labs to provide cross-chain infrastructure for the SWI blockchain. And of course, Mysten is also important part of developing the Move programming language, which is a super exciting. New programming languages are always a challenge, but what Move is doing is really innovative. I think it's very cool. We were lucky enough to have them on for a learn session, explaining, kind of walking through all the pieces and how it works and what they're offering to developers. And if you like, anybody can go. It's on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/Axelar core. And yeah, a great session. If you're curious about the Move programming language, that's a great place to start. So yeah. What else? Circle, as I mentioned during the interview with Amory, we're working with them on adding general message passing to native USDC cross-chain. That's super cool. And yeah, what else have we done? Eli, what are the other big ones of the past?
Well, I mean, another key one for Jake is long hash and the next generation of builders, as you said. Maybe Jake, you could tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So essentially, we are launching our next grant / accelerator program.
Accelerator.
It's spelled AXEL. So essentially, right, we just want to provide this kind of pipeline for builders to go and actually like be successful after just using our technology, right? So we are partnering with Longhash to essentially combine our networks and provide some educational content that will go over kind of 3 months to help builders launch products. So we'll be going over everything from kind of tokenomics, go-to-market strategy, product strategy. We'll be helping out on a biz dev front to start helping projects get early traction.
Jake, where can people go to find out more information, do the application, join, to apply to be part of that program?
If you Google long hash Axelar, actually you could just go to our website.
I'll drop a link as well.
I usually just Google long hash Axelar. But yeah, so 10 projects will get up to $100,000 investment. We didn't want to like force people into getting an investment if they didn't want one. So we're doing 20 to 30 grants on the side that are still going to have access to the content. And we'll give them up to, a $20,000 grant to really help bootstrap the ecosystem.
And in order to apply, you've got to be able to Google long hash Axelar. That's the first test. No, actually, that's not true. I just posted the URL up there on the bottom of the screen. I'm not going to read it out because it's a little bit long, but take a look, write it down, come back to the video, which will be on our YouTube channel. You'll be able to see it there.
Yeah.
Or just Google long hash Axelar.
Also, I just got what I was doing before this was we just sponsored like a little hackathon with Morales, where there will be some bounties.
Nice.
So that's going to be happening over the next kind of month and a half.
What's Morales? What do they do?
So essentially, from an application development standpoint, there's a bunch of things that like any dApp needs to do to set up infrastructure to run their application. That like happens every time you build a dApp, right? It's just like the fundamental building blocks that you need, RPC endpoints, et cetera, et cetera. So these guys essentially have like an SDK that takes all of that rudimentary like base application logic and it allows you to just build faster, right? You can go and start doing the fun part. And kind of similar with Axelar, we're trying to combine our SDKs so we can allow people to develop faster. And it's just kind of like the boring part, right? Like people care about like cool UIs and application logic and just lets you get to the meat and the potatoes quicker, I think.
Awesome. Well, I mean, what else? We've talked about some of the big stuff, right? What are some of the other, like some applications that have come through in the past month we've been working with?
Yeah. So I think number one, like the SWI and the Mysten team and the Aptos team, Mysten Labs, just like too many things. Like we were at some of their events I was just at Mainnet and then at Cosmoverse. But we're at some of their events in mainnet, and you can just tell it's like a really sharp group of builders.
Definitely.
As well as everybody that's coming to Cosmos. It's just like the word's out.
The Cosmos vibe is lit right now. It's right.
It's so lit. Even like the opening ceremony to a conference where you just have guys rapping is about IBC is like pretty epic.
I don't know. I'm maybe glad I missed that, but no, it's. I mean, I've seen it actually in the past month. The evidence is there. We've seen a lot of great projects coming through from the Cosmos ecosystem. I mean, of course, Axelar is built with Cosmos SDK. The blockchain that Axelar is based on is we have Tendermint consensus for our delegated proof of stake, but we have a lot of projects coming through from Avalanche. It kind of felt like August was like Avalanche month. We had a ton of cool projects joining from Avalanche, and we've got I mean, as you can see from the Axelar scan. Block Explorer, there are just a number of great ecosystems connected, but Cosmos right now, definitely people caught the vapors. There's no question.
Yeah. And I think like what we're starting to see that gets me pretty pumped up is, for example, Kite, which is this new product that's building on us that essentially is going to allow you to link any token on any chain, and bridge it to all of the other chains, right? So this is leveraging general message passing, as everybody, probably most people on this call know. Like, we really just have blue chip assets within Satellite, and a little alpha. I think we are going to be adding Binance's stablecoin, which will be good from a liquidity perspective.
Little alpha there.
When we add those assets right now, we have to like pretty much bake them into our network on a network level, and it's much better for our network when we are just sending messages around about the assets. So this Kite product is going to allow us to do that, right? So any application is going to be able to send any asset, and it's a much more light lift to be able to move any asset into any chain. So I'm really excited about that. The other thing, like things like JPEGs now, where we like originally thought that
JPEG, that's JAYPIGS.
Yeah. So
for the folks listening at home,
with a pig logo, which is the best.
we still need the hats. I hope they're listening. But
send hats.
When hats, JPEG. We like originally started talking to them, thought that it was just an application that was doing NFT renting, right? But what I've been impressed with that they've done is like after kind of speaking to the market and getting feedback, we've realized that it's really valuable to have an SDK, and there's good product market fit in the gaming space because people want to be able to rent NFTs within games. So they're building an SDK that we can just essentially bake into the front end of any application. And I think that when builders kind of take that mindset, right? Like, yes, you can have an application, but why not also have an SDK? And then, you can leverage the 700 relationships with dApps that we have in Web3 and essentially lean on our BD team to make introductions and help you kind of distribute your SDK and your application to all of these games. So I'm pretty fired up about that. Just like the infrastructure plays that are also applications, you kind of get the best of both.
Right. You're not just providing this functionality, you're also providing something for other people to build with. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like a B2C and B2B.
I don't know about you guys, but I got to jam in about 1 minute. We want to wrap this up. Anything else y'all want to cover?
I will say we made an Axelar builders group last night that already has 200 people in it, which is like, I woke up and was like, holy smokes. So like clearly we should have done that before, but there's a lot of people building an Axelar. It's pretty cool to see that. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but hopefully something productive.
At some point,
that's where you can drop your memes. I mean, that's you're starting a meme account, right? So
yeah, you got to hit up Jake to find the URL for that, because I actually can't put my finger on it right now. All right, well, 9:30. We'll wrap this one right on time. Everybody, thanks for joining. thanks for the comments. Yeah, look forward to doing this again next month. Come to axelar.network, sign up for the newsletter if you want to stay on top of everything we're doing, everything we talked about here. We'll be sending out information that way every week.
Google
Thanks,
long
everybody.
hash and Axelar.
Yeah, and Google long hash and Axelar. Next thing you do. Thanks, Jake. Thanks, Eli.
All right, see you guys.
Thanks, guys. Take care.